Yesterday, my life split cleanly into before and after. My wife, Jessica, was standing in our kitchen talking about something ordinary, groceries, the dog, dinner plans. And in the middle of that nothing moment, she said one sentence that made my stomach drop. Not because it sounded dramatic, but because it explained everything. Cooper, our dog, was asleep by the door, tail twitching. No idea the ground had just disappeared under me. But none of this started yesterday. It started with Thursday nights. Jessica announced she was joining a Thursday night book club. She'd been lonely since we moved to Denver for my job 2 years ago, so I was supportive. We were still trying to make the city feel like home, and I wanted to be the supportive husband. I even drove her sometimes, watched her walk inside, convinced I was doing the right thing. Then her routine shifted. Gym membership, new workout clothes, meal prep containers lining the fridge like a system I wasn't part of. She looked energized, confident, happy in a way that didn't include me. By the third week, everything I did irritated her. By the fourth, she stopped touching me. By the seventh, she was coming home late, smelling like sweat and perfume that wasn't hers, showering immediately like she was trying to erase the night. I told myself it was stress, work, a phase, and I would have kept telling myself that if I hadn't seen the message. The discovery happened in the most cliche way possible, and I hate that. 3 days ago, Jessica left her laptop open while she showered. Her iMessages were synced. I wasn't snooping. The notification popped up right as I walked past to grab my charger. Can't wait to see you tonight, baby. Wear that thing I like. My stomach dropped. I opened the thread. Months of messages. Months. Photos I won't describe because I can't unsee them. Videos, plans. Him complaining about his wife. Jessica complaining about me. Calling me boring, predictable. Saying I let myself go. I'm 5 feet 11 inches, 180 pounds. I run marathons. His name was Derek. Her book club, friend Amanda's husband. Yeah, they'd been meeting at gyms, hotels, his car. Sometimes at our house when I was traveling for work. Our bed. I screenshot everything, sent it to myself. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely type. The shower turned off and I closed the laptop, went to the kitchen, poured myself whiskey at 2 p.m. That night she acted completely normal, kissed my cheek, asked about my day. I said nothing. I was in shock, planning, trying not to vomit. I needed to figure out my next move before confronting her. Yesterday morning, Jessica sits me down looking nervous. I have something to tell you, she says, grabbing my hands. I'm pregnant. My brain short circuits. We haven't had sex in 2 months. Before I can process this, her phone rings on the table between us. The screen lights up. Baby daddy, with a photo of Derek. Her face went white. She grabbed for the phone, but I was faster. Baby daddy, I asked, my voice eerily calm. That's an interesting contact name for your book club friend's husband. The lying started immediately. It's a joke. Amanda and I joke about... I cut her off, told her I'd seen everything. The messages, the photos, all of it. She tried anger first. You went through my private conversations? That's a violation of trust. I actually laughed. Then came the tears. It meant nothing. I was confused and lonely. She blamed me for working too much, for not paying attention to her needs, for being emotionally unavailable. I asked whose baby it was. She swore it was mine, that she and Derek always used protection. Another lie. I'd seen messages about him refusing condoms. When I pointed this out, she changed tactics, begged, sobbed, said she'd end it, we could go to therapy, she'd do anything. I asked her to leave. She refused, started screaming that this was her house too. I'm not proud of what happened next. I packed a bag and left, grabbed Cooper, threw clothes in my car, and drove to a motel near the airport. She called 47 times that first night, texted hundreds of messages oscillating between, I love you, please come home, and you're overreacting, Couples survive this. The first 2 days were pure rage. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I'd replay every moment, every lie, wondering what else I'd missed. That work dinner in March, probably him. The girls' weekend in April, him. Our anniversary in June when she seemed distracted, she was probably texting him. Then the sadness hit like a freight train. I loved her. Loved her. Past tense feels wrong, but present tense is wronger. I mourned the person I thought she was, the future we'd planned. Kids, a bigger house, growing old together, all incinerated. My best friend Mike came to the motel on day 3, found me unshaven, surrounded by whiskey bottles and takeout containers. He didn't say much, just sat with me. Let me talk, cry, rage. That helped more than any advice could have. The acceptance part? I'm not there yet. But I reached clarity yesterday. This wasn't a mistake. This was a choice she made repeatedly for months while looking me in the eye and lying. She'd still be doing it if I hadn't found out. That's what kills me most. I contacted a divorce attorney this morning. Best decision I've made in weeks. He reviewed my screenshots, told me I have a solid case, especially since we have no kids and I can prove infidelity. Colorado is no fault, but documentation helps with asset division. Jessica showed up at the motel yesterday afternoon. Someone must have told her where I was. She looked terrible, hadn't showered, makeup smeared, holding a pregnancy test. Look, she said, waving it. It's real. We're having a baby. You can't throw away our family over one mistake. One mistake. Months of betrayal distilled into one mistake. I told her I wanted a paternity test the moment the baby's born. She exploded, called me paranoid, said I was punishing her, that if I really loved her, I'd forgive this. When I didn't respond, she tried a different angle, said Derek meant nothing, that she'd tell his wife Amanda everything if I wanted, blow up his life too as proof of her commitment to me. The manipulation was stunning. I told her my attorney would contact her and to stay away from me. She called me cold, heartless, said I never really loved her if I could give up this easily. I'm filing next week. The house is in both names, but I don't care anymore. She can have it. I just want out, want to rebuild somewhere she isn't. It's been 8 days since my world imploded. I'm not okay, but I'm functional. Cooper and I are staying with Mike until I find an apartment. I've been going to the gym, forcing myself to eat, showing up to work, even though I'm running on autopilot. Here's what I've learned. Trust your gut. Those off feelings I ignored for weeks, they were real. I talked myself out of suspicion because I didn't want to be that guy. Jealous, controlling, paranoid. Turns out my instincts were screaming the truth while my brain made excuses for her. Second lesson, someone who truly loves you won't make you feel crazy for asking questions. Jessica's defensiveness, her anger at basic questions about her whereabouts, that was guilt manifesting as hostility. Healthy partners don't explode when you need reassurance. Third, cheating isn't about you. I keep replaying what I could have done differently, but the truth is nothing. She chose this. I could have been perfect, and she still would have cheated because the problem was inside her, not our marriage. To anyone reading this in a similar situation, document everything. Talk to a lawyer before confronting if possible. And don't believe the tears. Actions matter, not words. And please don't stay for potential kids or sunk costs. You deserve someone who chooses you every single day. I'll update if anything major happens with the divorce. Thanks for reading my mess. She told me she was pregnant. Then her phone rang and the caller ID said, "Baby daddy."